Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Distillery Games. I'm Andrew. This is Tyler, and this week we're going to talk a little bit about the Game Awards. I think it's both of our first times of watching the actual event, and we're going to tell you our thoughts, our opinions, and what we thought they could do better or maybe not do better. So this was your first time watching the Game Awards?
Yeah, I've never actually sat down and watched the entirety of the Game Awards. I think I've always caught highlights afterwards, go online, see the listing of the prizes given out. And then, of course, YouTube has just got all the trailers, so there's really not much of a reason for me to sit down and watch the entirety thing. But I'm actually happy that I sat down and got to watch it this year. It was a good experience.
Yeah, I agree. For me, well, let's see this. Let's do this. What did you think of the Game Awards as a whole? Like, just take it as an entirety.
As an entirety, if I was going to base it off an event, I felt like it was so long,
So long.
ungodly long. But to be honest, the trailers were phenomenal. Like that, we've got to see a lot of things, a lot of high anticipated games that a lot of people were excited for were announced or shown a little bit more about, which was very exhilarating, really exciting. But the awards themselves, it made me realize that 2020 and 2021 was just bad years for video games. I think ultimately that's what it came down to.
Yeah, a lot of delays. I think had an impact on who won what, and really just like you said, had such a profound impact on the awards themselves. To me, as a whole, like you said, it was super long. Um, I would have liked to have seen if I was going to do the awards. I think I would have liked to have seen like two nights, right? I think I would have liked like the first night be more of the award ceremony type of deal. Like, hey, for your work, you get best. Let's see, best multiplayer game or best RPG. Like, have a night of awards, right? That could take like an hour, and then the next night have more of a E3 type of style showcase where these are the trailers. This is what's coming up. Um, that's what I think I would have liked better, honestly.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it was one of those things where I felt like the awards themselves had more of a backstory, so we weren't getting the appreciation that some of these developers deserve, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Instead, more people were kind of, well, at least the people we were watching were more annoyed with the award part and excited for the trailer part, because they wanted to see what was coming and they wanted to see what to be excited and hyped about, and ultimately, I felt myself falling in that same boat. So. But yeah, I mean that's my personal opinion on it. Award shows are just award shows, but the trailers were something else. I gotta give props
Yeah.
to them.
And I think I saw a tweet that said the awards themselves only took up like 17% of the entirety of the show.
Hmm.
And you can't call it a video game awards if like less than a quarter of it is actual awards, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I would like I said, I would have liked to have seen them split it up a little bit, show more appreciation to the developers, to the people working on the games, and all that sorts of thing.
Oh, definitely.
I'm gonna throw this up real quick. Let's do this. Here, this is just some of the winners of that night. We can continue talking on though.
Absolutely. I mean, some of the awards, I wish they would have spent a little more time on. I know, like they announced 6 or 7 awards in the pre-show, so they weren't even a part of the main bracket. And it was a little disappointing because we had searched and everything else, and understood there was a pre-show, but I wasn't expecting them to drop so many major trailers as well as so many awards right off of the bat, right on the pre-show, which is a little discouraging. Um, but some of the awards I found were almost lackluster. Um, they were just thrown in there at the whim. It's a little disappointing because they'd be like, "Hey, you know, Final Fantasy just got best community support. By the way, they also won this award too." And it wasn't
Okay,
like an
okay.
appreciation or a hey, these developers and these people worked on this game a lot. Give them the award and show it up. It was, hey, they won this award. By the way, they also won this too. And I found that a little demoralizing in my opinion. If I worked on something for years, put it out there, won an award for it, give me the opportunity to like celebrate that I got the award for it. Don't be like, hey, you won game of the year, and this game had also won, best multiplayer or something along those lines.
Yeah. If I was that part of that group, I would have felt a little bit that award would have been diminished a little bit in my eyes, right? Like, I could see that. Is there anything that stole the show for you that was a bright spot?
If we're basing it off of awards, I mean, It Take Two, in my opinion, swiped the floor with almost everybody. I mean, I know that it didn't have. I don't believe it had the most awards out of everything. I want to say maybe Forza had most awards out of them, or something along those lines. But It Takes Two definitely has to take Game of the Year for me, and I was happy to see them get it. The studio, Hazel Light Studios and EA definitely put out those people working together definitely put out some phenomenal games in the last couple of years, and I'm excited to see what their next projects are.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have any hands-on experience with the game. I saw a couple people play it. It looked really cool. I really liked the art style, the direction of the game, the flow of what I've seen. And yeah, I think it was definitely deserving of everything that they won that night. For me, I'm just going to jump on the bandwagon here. What was it? Kena, I think that was deserving of everything that it got. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
One was actually a surprise for me. It walked away with best narrative, I believe.
Best narrative, yeah.
And it beat a game that was strictly narrative. That was a phenomenal game, in my opinion. Not a game that I played, but had experienced it with others. But Life is Strange: True Colors is a phenomenal game, and it blew me away that a Marvel game outplayed and outdid something that was completely and strictly story based.
It's true. Because Life is Strange won games for impact, right? Yes. And I don't know what some of these awards actually mean in terms of how they structured or how they categorized them. But like, if you have a game that is games for impact, that to me is a narrative type game, right? Like if it's going to impact me in a way, it's a narrative game. So if it wins that, you would think it has to have won maybe best narrative, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Thought, but who knows? I mean, on that same side, like best action, as we see, was given to Returnals, or it was Returnal, right? And yep, and it wasn't even in the Game of the Year category. So a lot of these games that had best in their category wasn't even considered for Game of the Year. Games that didn't hit the mark in their bracket were considered for Game of the Year, which also confused me. I'm not exactly sure how these award shows go about doing their prizes, but I can tell you, just doesn't do it for me, if I can be fair.
Yeah, just doesn't like add up in the way if you're a fan watching, where you see all these names under a category, you're like, oh, that won best this, and then they go for best overall, and you don't see any of those names under that list that have won other best of.
It's just not. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
How can you be the best of one thing but not the best overall? Like, you just beat everybody else in your category.
Yeah.
How do you not compare?
Very strange. Very strange. I agree with that. Anything that you are anticipating a little bit more to I don't want that anymore. Anything that you are excited for or you're keeping your eye on for later?
Oh, I am thoroughly pumped for the game that won most anticipated. Elden Ring has got me stoked. It's got me excited. I'm a major fan of Dark Souls and Dark Souls-like games, so it is exciting to me to have something new and something that looks fresh in that franchise, made by those people, and is going to be that same difficulty. So,
yeah, I'm right there with you. Definitely on the bandwagon with that game, and also the game, the DC game.
Oh, Suicide Squad
Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, right? Or
looks phenomenal.
looks very good too, because that's by the same people that did Arkham, right?
Yep. So
Yeah, so both those games I think are pretty high up on my list to keep an eye on or just really want to play. They both look really fun, phenomenal games, story wise and action wise. So
I am also extremely excited for Nightingale. I thought Nightingale looked extremely beautiful.
Mhm.
It reminded me heavily of your New World. For those MMO players out there who had the opportunity to play Amazon's production as of recently, but it looks like it's going to be heavily multiplayer based, heavily world based, traveling to different locations, fighting different monsters, working with your teammates, building bases. It's got so many different elements in it that looks phenomenal, and I'm excited to see what's going to be coming out with that as well.
Yeah, that's right. The art style does look very New World. Another one I would throw out there is like Greedfall. I don't know if many people played Greedfall, but very that kind of, I don't know, early colonial type style of clothing, I guess. But yeah, it looks very fun. Looks very good as well.
The big announcement for me.
Oh, okay.
Alan Wake 2 finally announced. I was stoked. The trailer was only a few seconds long. It didn't show you anything.
Nothing.
But we are going to be getting Alan Wake 2 after almost 11, 12 years. 11 years after the game came out, the original came out. We are getting an announcement for a future game. Survival horror. They're taking it in a new direction. They're going to make it more scary. It did look intense from the small trailer that we got. The actor is back. He looks phenomenal. So I am stoked for Alan Wake 2. I thought Remedy Studio does a fantastic job doing their games, and Control was, in my opinion, one of the best games that we've seen in a very long time.
Two games that I should probably pick up. I have not played any Alan Wake. I have not played any Control. I know it's on Game Pass. I should probably just bite the bullet and just download it and play it.
Sounds like a sit down and a couple hour play. I'm telling you.
Grab a drink.
Chill, relax. I mean, Control's gameplay is so fluid. It feels so smooth. You can tell that the previous games, because going back and playing Alan Wake and whatnot, you can tell that the controls are it's dated. It's of its era. A little clunky, a little weird, a little hard to get used to. Once you get used to it, it's fine. But it's one of those things where it's like picking it up, you're a little off kilter. And then rotating, Remedy did Quantum Break, which was also an Xbox exclusive.
Oh, I didn't realize they did that one.
Quantum Break was time based. It was a little smoother, more story driven. You know, they had a lot more cutscenes, longer cutscenes, and the controls on that were still a little wonky. It seemed like they were still getting their sea legs. Control nailed it. It's fun to play. The movement is really fluid. The action, the environment, the whole story surrounding everything, and then the tie-ins ultimately, because of course they had a DLC where Alan Wake was a part of and introduced into the world of Control. So now you're tying them together.
Okay.
So Remedy is doing a good job of doing a Remedy multiverse almost. So.
Yeah, world building is really getting out there. It seems like.
Absolutely.
I'll have to try that out.
But other than that, I mean, there was plenty of game announcements. Tons of things coming out.
Trailers.
Absolutely. So we definitely, if you haven't watched the Game Awards and you're not really interested in award shows, check out the trailers though. I mean, we've got everything from a Texas Chainsaw game coming out.
That's right.
If you're into horror and you love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you get an opportunity to play it, and it's made by the same people that made the Friday the 13th game. So that's great because people really love the Friday the 13th game, that love that genre of gameplay where you have a killer and survivors and they're trying to escape. And we've got just everything up the bandwagon. A Wonder Woman game coming out.
That's true, yeah.
Just all sorts of stuff. That is exciting. That is hitting the shelves in the next couple of years.
Well, is there anything that you are playing right now that you would suggest to people to play?
Yeah. So currently, I am playing through the Halo campaign. I am enjoying myself tremendously. I'm not very good at the multiplayer. Andrew here knows very well that me playing multiplayer just doesn't mix very well. But I try. I'm loving the campaign though. I'm loving the continuation of Master Chief, and that is like my focal point that I'm playing. And then I'm actually kind of waiting a little bit for that Steam sale, that winter Steam sale to come out.
Yes.
There's a
Couple
couple of things
days.
on my wish list that I'm just gonna buy them up and ship them out, because I tell you what, there's a few things on my wish list that I am dying to get my hands on.
Yeah, right now I'm really just trying to get some of my backlog done. I checked out a little bit of Icarus. It's okay in my opinion, just a little bit okay. But yeah, December Steam sale is going to be awesome. And I'm kind of saving my wallet for February when Dying Light, Elden Ring come out. So that's kind of things that I'm waiting on. So hopefully the Steam sale doesn't take all my money. Is all I'm saying.
So based on the games that you have recently played versus the games on your wish list, what are at least one or two of your games that you're thinking, hey, if you're waiting for that Steam sale to hit or that winter sale to hit, what are the games that you would recommend people going out picking up today?
Picking up today, what have I been really enjoying? Man, that's a tough question. You got me good here. You got me good. I have really been liking some of these roguelike games. They're just really easy to jump in, jump out if you need to. So I've been playing a little bit like Monster Sanctuary. That's also free on Game Pass. Been checking out a little bit of Gunfire Reborn. I do like that game. If you like the rogue style games, these are games that you can't really go wrong with. Skull, even. You got me into Skull. I really started to enjoy that one.
Fun.
So yeah, I like these games. Are just kind of, I'm biding my time with these, these indie type games that are fun, easy to jump in, easy to jump out. Don't take a lot of time. I mean, they can take a lot of time, but not when you're playing actively. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Wonderful. Yeah. But yeah, I think we've got gaming has a lot of things coming up. I think with the world slowly coming back to a normal, I think we're going to be seeing studios start to pump out new games and new things that we have yet to see that are going to be phenomenal. So hopefully you guys can get the supply when the supply is high. If you're looking for that graphics card or that PS5, hopefully we can get all that taken care of eventually. But as for the time being, it looks like there's plenty of things that are going to be coming out in the near future to keep us entertained for quite a while.
Absolutely. I think 22 is going to be a great year for gaming. And I'm really excited for it. There's nothing really else to say. Thank you all for tuning in, watching us talk about the Game Show Awards, what we're into right now, things that we're looking forward to, things that we're not looking forward to. I hope everybody has a great holiday season. And we'll catch you all pretty soon.
Bye, everybody.